Hi guys, I'd like to tell you now about how to use critical thinking in order to help you deal with trauma. It's a very proactive way of dealing with trauma almost immediately. So in order to critical think, you have to understand the paradox, which is the extreme ends of everything. So a person can usually think this at the most extreme, i.e. if they're a fascist in politics or they're a communist on the left. So they're the sort of extremes of the humans, let's say, meter or gauge for their thinking. Of course you can think outside of that and around that as well, but for the purposes of this video we'll stick to that, the extremes. Now, people's general behavior, whether they're doing their day-to-day life, whether they're undertaking committing a trauma upon somebody else, whether that's knowingly or unknowingly, two can be seemingly the same thing: somebody's normal day-to-day behavior and extreme trauma, and most often are. So within us we have a gauge which knows beyond normal behavior and knows true normal behavior, i.e. what's good and what's bad for our health in the short term and the long term. Unless we're extremely unwell or have been we have some form of let's say parts of us have been missing genetically or otherwise from our bodies, discrepancies with the mind, etc., the way nerves work, and I don't know how you want to put it, some medical issues from birth, and or the traumas have been so extreme that they've left you in a state of frenzy, which is again difficult to explain, but it will leave you in a way which is too uncomfortable, too discombobulated to deal with the trauma without a huge significant rest period first and some gentle rehabilitation in the most simplest form of gentle and honest caregiving. So in other words, back to environment, we need to give ourselves the best environment that we can possibly afford against all odds for the long-term gain and not the short-term gain. So, critical thinking, if you're able to, which you most probably are for the most, let's say 90% of you, you can Google critical thinking and check on it and see. Some people can critical think better than others, but we all have the propensity to do it. It's like if you're going to buy a pair of trainers, for example, you research them and you say what this one said, what that one said, what's the extremes of that, what's the likelihood they're going to fail in the short term, what's the likelihood they're going to be cool and wonderful and do the job that you want them to do. So it's the same as that. So look back over your issues, run it through as if you're that person in their life, overlay that onto your life and to your understanding inside. Most likelihood you'll be perversely shocked for a very long time, and that is essentially what trauma is, that somebody can undertake that sort of behavior towards you. But upon allowing it the due time and due diligence and due understanding to seep through you and beyond you and culminate in everything that you are, mind, body and soul, you will understand that not only are they capable of it, you are capable of it too, most sadly to know, under the circumstances that they would have found themselves in. Maybe you would not have been quite like that under their circumstances, but you are capable of it under the circumstances. So it's a complicated one, and this is a side issue, but we are only capable of doing the things that we're capable of doing when we're subjected to the capability of doing them either in thought, word or deed. So it's Pandora's box. If you don't know, then you won't be able to ascertain, and that won't become your perspective. Now, if you can, and you most likely should, put yourself in the position of the others and all cases round, you will understand and you will come to forgiveness ultimately. That does not mean that you should hang around or stay in situations, and my theory is that one should look to make a significant safe zone around you in all ways, and that is usually required distance and silence. So that's how you can heal quickly and best. But this may give you an idea that you can use critical thinking for everything, and you probably should do, because it gives you it's the quickest way, the quickest route to market for health in mind, body and soul. I hope this helps the right people out there. It's a very sensitive subject. I like to keep things as simple as possible. I'm not a doctor, but I'm a man, and half man, half woman, let's say. I'm a human. And I would just like to say that it comes from a place of the absolute heart, and I hope that for the right people it's there to really help you push through your beautiful life the best way and the most succinct, peaceful way possible. With all love and peace, as always, take care, love, bye.